Hey, Chris Baker here, with a bit of a different video than I initially planned for you. I think it was Black Friday when I had a draft of about 3,000 words worth of Easter eggs and references from Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, focused on ones you pretty much haven't heard anywhere else, but I just haven't had a chance to record all that, much less edit it. So I took it all and put it in a Medium post with the URL you see here. Yeah, it's long, but there's lots of pictures. Just skim through it and read what you like. So what's this video all about then? Sort of a much shorter version of that Medium post. Well, I'm gonna count down my 5 favorite items from it. Spoilers ahead, so you've been warned. Oh, and real quick before I get started, this was my original thumbnail. Iron Man is in there because of Stark Industries mention in the Oscorp Space Museum, and there's also a Watchmen reference, believe it or not, in the Twitter feed. But on with the countdown. Number 5 is only so low because I can't be 100% sure that I'm right about it. But that's Rocket Racer. Seems like everyone's all excited about the Big Wheel reference in the time capsules, and that's cool, but I haven't heard one person talking about the whole reason the Tinkerer created Big Wheel in the comics to begin with, and that's to stop Rocket Racer, another one of the Tinkerer's creations. The reference comes in the form of these roller skates, which of course are in the form of a skateboard in the comics, but it's not just that. That chase sequence where Miles pursues Finn, she's totally Rocket Racering it up out there. We've never seen Rocket Racer in a game before, but we more or less did during this chase. Number 4 is pretty quick and involves Genki. The MCU Spider-Man movies pretty much took Genki and made him Peter's friend in the form of Ned. One of Ned's most memorable moments in both movies, I'd say, was this.
Guy in the chair.
Now, check out Genki's alias. Whereas the MCU's Ned stole Genki's identity, Earth 1048's Genki has taken something from MCU Ned. The circle is now complete. Number 3 is Rockwell Employees. Not just Rick Mason, who, as you'll see if you read my Medium piece, was anything but a Rockwell employee in the comics.
Secret Agent Man.
But more specifically, this is a list of a dozen employees you'll find in the Mason's workshop. On Medium, I break down who they are and what they do, but overall, I just think it's really cool that all of these names are actual comic book Rockwell employees, even if what they do in the comics is often quite different. But this is a unique universe. You can do that. And yes, Ella Sterling, whose stolen badge Miles examines here, actually does kind of look like Finn. Number 2 is Dazzler, and I know what you're thinking. Everybody's talking about the Dazzler ticket. What's it doing in a list of Easter eggs you supposedly haven't heard about yet? But that's the cool thing. There are Easter eggs within this Easter egg. See that AL0130? That's a reference to her name, Allison Blair, also stated out loud in the Mason's shop, by the way.
He said one of these used to belong to Allison Blair, but I think he was full of it.
And the 130 is her first appearance in the Uncanny X-Men. Then we have STM232, which is backward initials for Marvel Team-Up Spider-Man number 232, which actually reprinted this Spidey Dazzler Marvel Team-Up issue that doesn't appear to be referenced here. To the right a bit, there's a random 34X. Well, it just so happens that Miles Morales himself met the time-displaced original X-Men, who in turn were displaced into the Ultimate Universe in All New X-Men number 34, plus a few other issues at the time. Side note, I like that Insomniac is getting creative with their comic book Easter eggs. There were so many ASM 14s in the last game referencing Green Goblin's first appearance. You of course know that already, having watched that Easter egg video a couple years ago. Right? That's it for comic references I can recognize on this ticket, and there may indeed be more. But there's also one other comics Easter egg that is also a Spider-Man PS4 Easter egg, that being the venue, the Deep End, which of course you also remember being discussed in that last video. Right? And finally, I'll just say that I really love the fact that this ticket was purchased on the 25th anniversary of the subject of my personal favorite video on this channel. Man, how did I get into such plug mode all of a sudden? And now it's time for number 1, which I'm frankly disappointed I haven't heard anybody actually talk about yet. It should be pretty obvious to anyone who read the Amazing Spider-Man comics in the 2000s. And you'll find it in this exchange between Miles and Peter after you've beaten the game.
Have you thought about teaching? You're pretty good at it.
Honestly, No. No. Maybe. I'll think about it. Call you soon.
Now, yes, I have heard some speculation out there that this is setting up Peter to become a teacher in the next game, and I agree, I think that's going to happen. But what I haven't heard anyone say is that Peter actually was a teacher in the comics, thanks to the legendary run of J. Michael Straczynski. Outside of Peter's classic photography role, I always thought he felt the most at home in this job. And I do really hope that's what Insomniac has in store for him next. So yeah, if you're thirsty for more content like this, apparently it takes about 17 minutes to read according to Medium, check out the URL you see here, which is linked to in the description as well. Leave a comment there or here, up to you, I'll read them either way. Or just watch some old videos like the ones you see here. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.